Oops, wrong way. That one. This
right.
here. Yep.
So we're back on you.
All right. Let's bring on Keegan.
Hello.
I already know you're nervous.
A little bit, just a little bit.
So I personally know this child. He has came with me everywhere. He has been my flunky for probably 2 years now.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. But he has also done a lot of haunt things. So this is time for your elevator pitch. For the first time.
Oh,
first time ever.
I know. I'm a big loud. Scary.
All right. Tell us what you do.
Well, I'm Keegan Smith. I'm 15. I'm the owner of The Broken Side. We make props, costumes, really anything custom props. And I also scare act for 7 years now. So.
You know, elevator pitches are normally like 35 to a minute long.
He hit the points though. Leave that man alone.
I'm allowed to pick on him.
He got me to say, what do you want from him? He's only 15.
I'm a proud mom, okay?
You can't. This is the internet. You can't say things like that. People will have questions.
So let's just get started with the question because I know you've been thinking about them. All right. So when did you know you wanted to be a haunt entrepreneur?
So I started scare acting around 7 years ago. And I was like, wow, it's fun. It's a big industry. Like, this is cool. And then about 3-4 years ago, I made my first costume with Zach Glaros from Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. And I was like, I want to do this. Like, I would love to be a part of this and start doing this forever. So then from there, I just kind of started helping out at some haunts. I started going to conventions with Tayen and her company and meeting a bunch of people. So I just started doing it for myself.
It's fair. It's fair. So this is one with a backstory to it. How did you pick your company name?
Oh, Lord. So since I started acting 6-7 years ago, all of my characters just had something like broken or like a dark side. So like I played an evil elf, but like he was all nice and sweet until you started talking to him and then he'd like flip and go psycho on you. So everything was just broken and they had something wrong with one side of them. So the broken side just kind of came along.
It's fair. Did you make your logo?
I did.
You drew it yourself?
Drew myself, hand drawn on the phone.
What has been the toughest part of your journey so far?
So the toughest part has probably been trying to equal out my company while still doing school, because being 15, I'm still in high school. So I'm trying to learn all the new topics and subjects while also trying to build costumes and props. So it's a lot of time management.
Finding the happy medium is difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. And I've completely forgot to mention this, but Keegan, like, you just started your business, like, what, a couple months ago?
Yeah, about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Yeah, so you're not new to it, but in a way, it's still new.
It's still kind of new.
Yeah, it's difficult to explain. What has been some of the biggest learning curves while trying to start your business up?
So one of the things is, before I started my company, I would like see things on like Pinterest or Google and I'm like, whoa, I'm going to make that. So I would make it and just have it around. But now owning a company, I have to think of my own ideas. I can't just go on Google and make something because it's not mine.
Yeah.
So something I had to learn to do was I draw out all my ideas and I slowly just go through them and make them so that if I see it, I'm like, oh, that's mine.
Right. You have to come up with ideas. I get writer's block basically all the time with that kind of crap. It's difficult.
Everything's been made at least once.
Yeah, honestly. And then you have to make it completely different from somebody else's.
Yeah.
So how has the haunt world changed from you being an actor to being now a business owner?
So being an actor, I met like other haunted house actors and other haunt owners, but not owning a company, I meet the people who make those things happen. So like going to conventions, like let's say with you, I met all these big business owners that make the masks and the props. And then I'm like, well, this industry is a lot bigger than I thought it was. So really just meeting meeting all these people.
Right. It's different being behind the scenes and, you know, just being in a pop-out hole or being like a main character, and they bring your stuff to you, but now like you're the person that brings the stuff to them.
Now I'm the one.
Yeah. So what has been your favorite part so far with, you know, bringing your business up?
So one of the favorite things is like looking at a drawing and then looking at the item that I just made and be like, whoa, I just made my dreams come true. So just really walking in here and seeing all my product that I've made, I'm like, whoa, I can do that. Like I'm doing this.
You can do the thing. You do social media better than me. I can already tell you that. Like, I see your stuff on Instagram all the time.
Social media is difficult.
Media is difficult. So what are you currently working on as of right now?
So I have a little guy. His name is Louie, and he lives in a bunch of different bottles. So right now I'm trying to mass make him and put him into a bunch of different environments so that he looks different. And then I'm making some stuffed animals and a couple of costumes.
Things and stuff.
So there's one back right there, and he's my radioactive costume. I know I wore him a couple years ago for a lead character audition, but I've changed him up. I've added some new neon colors. Just a couple things here now.
So I know sometimes you do it, but that was whenever you were just making the costumes for yourself. Have you gotten into sewing more? Are you still sewing your costumes?
So I do, like, I'll get like a jacket from Goodwill or something, or a dress, and I'll sew onto it just so that I can say like, that's mine. Like I did that. So I do prefer sewing stuff on the costumes and sewing things together than buying something and distressing it.
That's fair.
You got some costumes laying around you could show us real quick?
I do. I have this one. This was an Egyptian costume that I hand sew all the beads and all the...
Your stilt walker.
Yeah, my stilt walker costume. I don't have the pants. I did hand sew the pants. Those were a pain in the butt to make. But yeah, I hand sew all the little beads on there and all the edging. But that's just one of many to come.
So I know that this was a conversation that me and you had a little bit ago, but I figure everybody else would probably like to know. So are you going to get into stilt walking costumes?
So I am going to make some stilt walking costumes because that's something you don't really see as often as you do like a regular costume. So I'm going to get into making maybe some stilt pants, some dresses that you can wear with and just different accessories for stilt walkers.
Heard. And Richard just said you won first place on the costume.
I did for that stilt costume at Spooky Empire. I did win first place for that.
You need to mention this stuff.
Well, I'm not really thinking about it.
Award winning.
Yeah, award winning costumes.
Hey, it'll make the costume worth more.
That's what Tayen walks around. She's like, yeah, I'm the honor of award winning Project Backfire.
Listen.
Award.
Where's your award in the background? You need to put it back right there. There you go. Just hold that the entire time.
I'll just stand right here.
There you go. That's it. And then this is the question that I always hate, and I'm making you and Gage answer it. What do you see yourself doing in 5 to 10 years from now?
So hopefully by then my business is blown up. I'll be graduated. I can do this full time, hopefully. And hopefully my name and my company name will be in the end of tons of movies in the theaters for special effects, makeup, costumes, character design, all that. I'd love to see that.
And weren't you in a movie for something like with a big orange dude?
He was actually in the Spookhalid video that played. He talked. So I wore a costume and I acted as a character, and then I did 90% of the makeups for that movie and some of the effects for it.
Nice.
A lot of fun. Great people.
They are. They're very nice people.
Well, what was that experience like, being so young and being on a movie set and participating so heavily in it?
It was a lot of stress because I had to be in a character myself. And they're like, okay, Keegan, we need you in your spot. Oh, wait, we need you to do 10 makeups over here real quick. I'm like, it's a lot of stress. I'm like, brain. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of learning experience to it.
That's fair. Any questions, Steve?
Yeah, like a ton. So favorite costume? Well, what was the one that sticks out the most in your mind?
So it's not one that's done, but it is one that I'm working on. It's a banshee costume, and it's a long flowy dress, and it's got green lights underneath it, and it has children's faces and hands sticking out of the bottom of it, like through the mesh material, and they light up. There's chains, there's bells. That's one of my favorites that I'm making at the moment.
Noisy
visual.
So other than, just following Tayen around and trying to figure the whole situation out, do you just like wake up in the middle of the night, start jotting notes down? Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Or is it just kind of like, as you make it, it kind of creates itself? Where does all this artistic design come from?
So like sometimes I'll in the mornings I wake up and I'm like, whoa, I dreamt of something that was really cool. Like I had a nightmare and I want to make it come to life. So I'll draw like a little sketch of it and put it in a notebook to save for, 2 months from now. And I'll look at it and be like, you know what? It's time to make this. I'll get the stuff for it, start making it. So I just kind of think of it randomly.
So there was a question up here earlier. Let me see if I can find it. I wasn't sure. It was Doug Schaefer mentioned it, and I wasn't 100% sure if this was a legit question or not, but I'm going to go for it. How often is Keegan wears mom's tights to Universal Studios?
Oh, Lord.
You want to tell them why he's asking that?
So we went to Universal with Doug and some of his peoples. And Tayen took me, and we pretty much dressed up as our characters from that year at a haunt at Sir Henry's. And I didn't have my tights that I wore as a character, but I had a pair that were similar, and they were my mom's. So I wore them. They were comfortable. I wore shorts over them. Tayen had peppermint tights on and a Christmas hat.
He had a rip in what he's not telling you is there was a rip in the tights in the crotch area.
There was a giant rip in the crotch area, so I had to keep pulling them up. It got to the point where I was just I wanted to rip them off like Superman.
And I seen Mom ask, do you sleepwalk? So what he's not telling you is when we
getting it from all over.
Yeah, we take him out to well, we used to. Now we don't have to take him to the conventions because then he buys a booth. So we went to Trans World and we were in the hotel room and we all were asleep because we had just got done packing for the day. And apparently he left in the middle of the night to go party and didn't tell us.
In pajama pants and no shoes.
Yeah, he don't remember going out and partying until he woke up in the hallway of St. Louis, Missouri with no shoes on.
Mind you, I only knew them for 2 months before this. And they took me to St. Louis to Trans World. And I just walk out the hotel room like it's cool in the middle of the night.
So
yeah, well, I mean, look, if there's any place to do it, it's going to be there because at least you're going to be in good hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All of the people at the bar were like, "Are you lost?"
And I didn't know their last name. So the lady had to come up and see what room I was from and then gave me a key.
And we were asleep while all of this was happening. And then the next morning he was like, "Yeah, I left." We were like, "What do you mean you left?" "I left the room and I got locked out." And
are your party days behind you now?
Yeah, we're good. No more.
Wait, he's a businessman. He can't party anymore now.
I gotta be a burger now.
Speaking of businessman, when can we expect to see the live version of the Broken Sun?
So we will be at Texas Haunters Convention. Texas Haunters Convention in July. Very excited for that. A lot of preparation. And hopefully to be at Fear Expo next year.
So you don't have to hopefully. I mean, you can if you really want to be.
We will be.
Tayen knows how to do that. We'll get you a booth. We'll get you a booth on the other side so you don't have to deal with her.
Okay. The horns.
Yeah, all day long.
I know it. Are you going to have a website soon?
We will. We are getting a website up and running right now. We do have Instagram and TikTok. Our Facebook will be up hopefully tomorrow. We've had some issues with that, but for right now, we have Instagram and TikTok.
And are these, your Facebook and Instagram and stuff, or is there going to be a point of sale on there?
There will be. You can contact us on there through email, and there's a way on Instagram that you can purchase things through Instagram. I'm looking into that
store or something like that.
Yeah, it's weird, but we're looking into that right now.
How much stock do you have available currently?
We have a lot. Large.
He's prepping. He's prepping for his first show.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is tomorrow or within the next week, if people get onto your site or Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and they see something they like, you're going to get it to them before Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get it to them by then.
Because that's important. So everybody heard that. Everybody that's watching, you guys all heard that if you need something and Keegan's got it, you're going to get it before Halloween, before haunts.
We'll promise it by the end of August.
Ooh, by the end of August.
That's fancy.
That's a big bite.
Guarantee shipping.
Ooh, come on. Don't
drop
boy.
off the plane somewhere.
Hand delivery.
But once it's out of my house, it's none of my responsibility.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, Keegan, I'm going to let you get back to work because I feel like you're going to be a real busy boy here this summer. So you're going to pay your way through college, hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right, buddy. Are you doing any shows coming up other than hopefully you said Texas Haunters? Are you going to be Transworld?
Hopefully at Transworld. If we're not vending, we're hopefully going to be walking around.
HauntCon? Because it's in HauntCon because it's in your neck of the woods.
I was looking into HauntCon. I don't know if we're doing it yet or not, but we're looking at other conventions to start doing.
It's Orlando. It's right there.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
You'll at least be there, right?
Hopefully. I'm not going to promise you, but I'll give you an 89% chance.
I want to see this sleepwalking partying, dude.
I don't party enough for Steve's liking, so somebody has to.
You don't understand. You have no idea. Like for Fear Expo, I start at 6 a.m. and I don't stop till about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Never sleeps.
For like 4 or 5 days straight.
Never sleeps.
So
schedule on a daily.
Yeah, well, it must be nice to be young and have cartilage in your legs and stuff. So I heard that's all the rage these days.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Keegan, I really appreciate you being on the show tonight, and I hope to see you doing very well in the very near future.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the invite on the show tonight.
Absolutely. This is where Chris falls asleep at the wheel.
I know.
He won't switch us over.
Waiting on Chris.
There it is.
Yeah. He's working on it. He's trying.
Almost. Nope, it's the next one. There it is.
We go.
It's only like the umpteenth show that we've done. That's all right. You know what? I think, because I don't think we make fun of Chris, but I don't think we actually give him enough credit because Chris is the guy behind the scenes that's actually putting all of this together. So all these icons that you see, all the opening credits that you see, getting all these video edits done, making sure that the giveaways are going off. I mean, that's all Chris right there. So make sure everybody shouts out to Chris. Tell him a thank you for putting all this together.